They're witches.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
Because she's a witch.
We've got a witch!
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch!
Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back!
Indeed, the witch is back. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. Hello, Sarah. You're the first one in, my darling, as always. Good evening, everyone. I do hope everybody is doing okay. We have just had a really good members-only chat. I talked about all sorts of stuff, including some sneak peeks about items that I am making for the Witches Road, and also some new pieces I'm working on. We've talked about all sorts today. Good evening to Dormouse. Good evening to Alina. How are you? I hope you are both doing fan-dabby-dozy this wonderful Sunday evening. Good evening to Niddy. We're going to have a good evening. I've got a really good feeling about today. I've got to say, here in the UK, good evening, Patricia. Here in the UK, it does feel like spring has we're just creeping over. Do they say the yard arm? Is that the saying? The sun is creeping over the yard arm. Does that mean it's see, I'm saying this old expression without really knowing what it means. Does that mean it's getting late, or does that mean it's like dawn? Can someone let me know, because I don't know what it means. But anyway, for some reason the sun is somewhere up against the yard arm, whatever that means. I forget the saying. Spring is nearly sprung. It has. We've got a tree in our next door neighbour's garden, and it hasn't got its buds on yet. It's one of those ones. It's not a cherry tree, but you know the ones that have the really annoying blossom. They all blossom and then it just falls into your garden and goes to brown mush. That we haven't even started with leaves on that tree yet. So I know that right where we are in the UK, which is kind of in the north, I think, kind of in the middle, sort of in the middle, right where we are, we're not quite hitting it. But my lovely husband, his family live down south, and they are already getting trees coming out and everything, and like daffodils are up and all sorts of lovely things. We're not quite there yet where we are. It's like almost time, but you notice it when you take the dogs out for a walk. You can notice it, and when you've got other people's gardens, you just kind of go, oh, there's some nice flowers coming up in that one. Oh, it must be time for planting soon. Oh my gosh, Dormouse, 2 weeks on and you're still no better. You wish someone could take your lungs, wash them out and return them. You've ripped muscles with the cough. If only after this they would look gym toned. Oh, I'm so sorry, my darling. We'll light you another candle. Do I have any of the brighter ones? Because I do find, I do. Hold on. I need to go through my store cupboard and actually get some of the bright candles out. Right, we'll do you another green candle, my darling. So as always, you've got the daffodils out where you are. Wow, that's cool. That's very cool. I like that. I might have to come down for a coffee one day soon then. Right then, Dormouse, let's light you up a lovely healing candle. So how healing candles work, right? All they do is it focuses energy. So what we're going to do now, everybody who is watching this, right, everybody who's watching this, I want you now to just think about the spring weather, right? The sun that is coming up, the lovely warmth that we're starting to get, and how it makes us all feel. It makes us feel a little bit, there's a bit more of a kick to our step, isn't there? There's a little bit more verve, a little bit more vigor, a little bit more oomph. That oomph feeling that we're all starting to begin to start feeling now as the weather's turning to the next season. I want you just to think of that energy just for a couple of seconds. And what we're going to do is we're going to send it not just to our lovely Dormouse, who needs it, but we're going to send it to any of our lovely viewers, any of our subscribers, and we're going to ask that this energy be used for healing them that need it, right? Them that need it. It's a very specific Yorkshire phrase because we're sending it from Leeds, which is where I am right now, right? So we will hone the energy. Hang on. Them that need it. So I've just put the beginning initials onto the candle, and what have I got to have? Oh, I'm not going to use my smudge spray because it will. Oh no, go on, I will do. I'll put one of the smudge sprays on it because it will burn. There we go. Don't go out. We don't want you to go out, please. There we go. There we go. So we're just going to send the warm and healing spring energy, not just to Dormouse, but to anyone else who's got some long-term health issues, anyone else who is suffering illness that is lingering, that lingering progressing blur, that general blur, but specifically to Dormouse and anyone else in our any of our subscribers, any of our members that need it. Okay, we're going to send this out into the universe, and we're going to ask that this be good and for the right of all. So that's a key thing, right? We ask that it be good and for the right of all, but we ask that it goes to Dormouse. So that's a key important thing that we want for Dormouse and anybody else. So then let me have a wee look. So yeah, yes. Grumpy said he's putting you on a one-way visit to the vet. Oh, give him a slap. I mean, oh, no, give him a slap. No, don't. I don't advocate for that, but put him on no extras. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I don't mean an extra helping a rice pudding for his supper. Do you know what I mean? No extras for you, Grumpy. Hi, Shirley. Oh, look at the flowers in the chat. That's lovely. That's awesome. I like the flowers in the chat. The sun and more light help all of us. It does. It really does. It is a wonderful time of year. In fact, let's flood the chat right now. Hi, Holland. Let's flood the chat right now with some sun energy. Let's have all the sun emojis. Hang on, I'm even going to do it myself. Look at this. Here we go. I've got to find it. So let's all hang on. How do we find the emojis? It's there. And I'm going to do dinga 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 bell. And I'm going to do some hearts. There we go. I'm going to send that one out. There we go. So that's for our members. Because the members, we've got our own emojis on the channel. So if you want those, you know what you need to do. I've got some. These look like suns. And so I'm going to send those ones. Oh, be careful. When I say flood it, only do like 4 or 5. Oh, no, I think it's fine, isn't it? I think it's fine. I think we're able to do multiples now. We haven't got that chatbot thing that was hating on us if we did lots. Come on, no. Come on, no. Well, I want to go down 1, please. Oh, why is it jumping up 17? Hold on. Right, I've gone further down. So we go back up, back, objects, activities, weather and travel. There we go. Sun, 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 sun. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in the sun. Shining, let the sun shine, let the sun shine in. There we go. Thank you, Holland. Everybody's putting lots of lovely lovelies in the chat. So we're going to bring that warming, loving, sunny energy to Dormouse and obviously anybody else that needs it as well this evening. So then, thank you everybody for doing that. Well, I like it. Let's see if you don't have suns. They are, so when you click on the button, Sarah, you've got the 4 that are ours, but if you look above, you've got your standard emojis, and the suns and that are all in there. Or sunflowers, like Patricia's done. I like that, Patricia. That looks funky. And yes, look, I can bring them all up now as well. Look at that. Oh, lovely, 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 bloody lovely. You don't know about daffodils, but your marjoram has buds on it, and your mint and balm are coming up. I have decided, if you watched the video that I did at the start of the month, good evening to Mag. If you watched the video from the start of the month that I did, the Witch's Bible, the path ahead for March, the working I've got in there, I will be doing on the vernal equinox, on the spring equinox, Ostara, and I've decided I'm not going to mess around with seeds, right? I'm going to go to the garden centre and buy some nice, nicely grown and you know, potted on herb plants. That's what I've decided I'm going to do this year. I'm not going to mess around with the seedlings and everything else, because I don't know from one day to the next with my fibro if I'll be any good. So that is what I am going to do. There aren't any YouTube suns that you can see. You got the suns from your phone's emoji. Really? I'm on YouTube. I'm on the computer, so I've only got the ones that are on YouTube. So, oh well, very confusing. But thank you everybody for doing it with the suns. Now all I need you to do is hit that like button and then ding your bell, and make sure, and your subscribe button and ding your bell. Make sure that you are notified each and every time I upload a video. That will be lovely as well if you do that lovely thing. Thank you, thank you. Right, shall we get on with some tarot readings? We'll get on with some tarot readings. If you would like a tarot reading on this channel, there are basically 2 ways of going about getting one. The first way is to wait until I open up a round. You will hear this noise. Not yet. This is an example, but you'll hear this noise. And that means the round is opening, and then there'll be messages in the chat telling you what to do. Basically, you have to start your question with the word question, and then one of those will get answered at random. Okay, one will get answered at random. If you want to guarantee that yours is up next, you can do that by sending a super chat. Any super chat of any amount will get you on the list. If you send a super chat of more than £8 or $10 US dollars, that will come through and will get you a longer 7 or even sometimes a 10 card reading, depending on what mood the cards are in, basically, and Wispy my air dragon. So we do have some housekeeping rules though. Not everybody can get a reading on this channel. We are very strict here, very, very strict rules, okay? And the rules are very, very strict. It's not, it just means this. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or any time in the future. Absolutely, that's really important. Please don't dox yourself on the internet. Also, don't write anything stupid. Listen, if you don't like fat people, don't put a message on going, Lisa, you're a big fat cow. If you don't like trans people, don't put a transphobic message on going, meh, 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 meh. If you don't like me, just do one, right? Because your nasty comment may well be seen by a future boss in 5 or 10 years time, and it might be the thing that stops you getting a promotion. So think about your own future and your own possibilities before thinking about, you know, slagging everyone off. And I think that's the same for everyone. I think that's the same for good advice there. Good advice, Lisa. I know, right? Thank you very much, Lisa. I know. Think about your own. Maybe that's what we need to do, you see. Maybe we need to expand cancel culture so that everybody has to stop and think about the shit that they say on the internet and in real life about people, which Karens would be stopped instantly, wouldn't they? Anyway, you get your plants from Amazon. That's good. You never thought of Amazon Dormouse for plants. You want to get herbs into one of your big planters, but you're no gardener. I've never tried Amazon for plants, to be honest. Will you do well with your dragons? I don't know, Sarah, but I can look at the cards in a second. As I say, we're not open around just quite yet. There was something else I was going to do, wasn't there? There was something else. Hang on. I've said about the housekeeping rules. What have I not said, mods? What have I not said? Oh, I know what I haven't said. Holland. No coffee since Tuesday night. And I'm doing okay, actually. I'm doing okay. I miss the flavour. Like mad. But I'm doing okay. I am proving to myself that I'm not addicted to coffee. I have had a couple of cans of energy drink and normal cans of pop, as I would do anyway. But I have not had... If you don't know, Holland last week challenged me to stay clear of coffee for a week. And I'm nearly at the week mark. And although it's not been... Like, there's been various times, first thing in the morning when I've gone, oh, I'll get up, I'll have a nice cup of tea then. It's not been the same, but I'm actually not having any major withdrawal or side effects or anything else that I thought I would. So there we go. It's actually been really easy. Thank you, Dormouse. Yeah, coffee. It's actually been really, really easy, Holland. So there. It wasn't as much of a challenge as you thought. You've thought of me every time you've had a coffee. I hope your coffee was super bitter. I hope it left a bitter aftertaste in your mouth. I have missed the flavour, to be honest. I really have missed the flavour. And I am not sure that I am actually... I'm not sure that the tea bags I've got are very good or nice, because I've completely forgotten what the flavour of tea is like, especially with oat milk. I don't think oat milk is made for tea, put it that way. But, you know, it's been all right. I've been fine. Been absolutely fine. I've had lots of squash, lots of lovely water. I've been super healthy. Thank you, Dormouse. You see, Dormouse would never challenge me to do something as horrible as that. I am very looking forward to Wednesday morning, though, where first thing Wednesday morning, I don't drive. But if Rufus isn't awake, then I'm borrowing his car and I will be driving myself to... Oh, no, I don't have to drive to Costa, do I? I can get Costa on Uber Eats. How's Rufus been? He's been fine. He's actually been fine. He's drank a lot less hot drinks. I keep going, do you want a coffee? And he goes, no, you're not making one, are you? I was like, no, I'll make a tea, but I'll make you a coffee if you want. He goes, no, I'll just have a pop, because he knows that I can't have it, you see. So he's been very understanding and very supportive. Yes. Get yourself some PG tips. I don't even know what these were. They're round bags, not the pyramid ones. I think it's Yorkshire tea. Because that's what we used to drink when we were doing the old transmission. Good evening, KH. I hope you are well. Right then, now I've talked about not having a coffee, shall we in fact go ahead and do the... Oh, hang on a second, everybody. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Let me just... Why is that not on? Why is that not working? Ooh. Oh, because I haven't hit that button. Oh, good Lord. I could see it on one screen and not the other because I didn't hit my transition button. Right then, the details are down below if you would like to get a reading. It tells you just there how you get a reading on this channel, okay? I like Earl Grey as well. I used to really like Lady Grey, but you can't get it everywhere anymore. And our local Twinings, we had a Twinings shop. It's closed down. But I used to love my Lady Grey. But anyway, if you want to get a reading, this is how you do it down on the bottom. Don't forget, if you want to get yourself a in without a queue, you can do so as a super chat. But right now, it is It is time to go ahead and get your questions in. Start your question with the word question, and one of those will get selected for a reading. One of those will get selected at random. So do please go ahead, pop your question to the live chat, starting with the word question. And as I say, one of them will get chosen at random. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. If you didn't know, I just did forget to unmute myself. The moderators are the ones with the little spanner next to their name. They're the ones whose name is in blue. They are the ones who are the moderators on the channel. Okay, so if you have any questions about it, feel free to holler at a mod. So then, let's have a look. Apparently, the keeper of the question says Mag. So, Mag, my darling, here we go. You are the first cab off the rank today. So, you get the first question. So, my darling, let's have a wee look. Oh, I'll do that for you in just 1 second. I just need to add... Hold on, that one. There we go. So now I can pull your question up. Right then, here we go. So, I love reading for the near future. You are single. Absolutely no problem at all, Mag. Here we go then, my darling. So we are going to cleanse the space as always. There we go. And we're going to bring in Wispy, who is a elemental air dragon that I work with. This deck, I'm still using it. It's the 5th Spirit Tarot deck. It is absolutely lovely. Genuinely, I think possibly one of my favorite decks of all time. Certainly in my top 3 of all time. Absolutely adore it. It gives very, very interesting readings without any fluff. It's really, really... A very genuine deck. So then we'll have a look at this. Also, I do have an Oracle deck with me as well, for it being International Women's Day, celebrating women's achievements. I know, right? Why isn't it 365 days of the year? But anyway, let's have a look for you, my darling Mag. So here we go. We've got the 10 of Cups. Interesting. That's where you are right now. What you need to know, the 4 of Swords, and your potential outcome, we've got the Knight of Cups. Let me bring these down a little bit. I keep forgetting how high the other camera is now. So then, that's interesting. Why is it interesting? It's interesting for a couple of reasons. One, the tarot deck is separated into different suits. Okay, so we've got cups, swords, wands. I always forget them in the wrong order. Cups, swords, wands, and pentacles or coins. Cups are the ones that deal with emotional issues. If this was a deck of cards, these would be clubs, these would be hearts. Okay, so this is our emotional side. Now, regulars here will know that I always say that the 10 of something is overflowing and the 9 is when it is full. So this is overflowing with love and romantic energy. Okay, now this is where you are now. Now the thing is, right, when I say the 10 is overflowing, I think that you are not just single. This would give the impression that you are quite lonely at the moment. And that you are this isn't just a case of, you know, oh, it would be nice to have a relationship, it would be nice to go on a few dates. I think you are genuinely feeling that absence of a partner in your life, like it here in the heart. I think you are genuinely feeling that at the moment, which is not a nice place to be, right? It's not a nice feeling to have, but it is something that is genuine and it is from the heart. Now, for me, this tells me that you have a huge capacity to love, right? A huge capacity to love. My question is, though, my darling, because this is the 10 and not the 9, right? 10 is overflowing. Do you feel that you are incomplete without a partner? Do you feel that you are missing a side of yourself? Do you feel that you need a partner for you to have that loving energy in your life? Because the reason I'm asking that is because in the what you need to know, we've got swords, which is trouble and strife, hurdles and challenges, right? And we've got the 4. And for me, the 4s are all about stability. They're all about things being kind of station keeping, if you know what I mean. Things are just the way they've always been, right? So this card on top of this is telling me that actually I don't think you're I don't think you're necessarily looking for a right. I'm hedging my bets. Hang on. Let me not do this because this isn't any good for anybody. So what I'm wanting to say, right, if you were a friend sat down with me now, which is how I like to do these readings, I would say to you, look, it is better to be single. It is better to work on yourself and learn to love yourself and heal from those past relationships and literally get to the point in your life where you are happy and content as you are before accepting any old relationship for the sheer hell of it, right? We've all been incredibly lonely in our lives. We've all gone through really dark periods. And the thing is, when we're feeling that low, when we're feeling that sense of emptiness, we can sometimes look for any old relationship, anybody that can come along and say, do you know what, Mag, actually, you're not great looking, but you'll do for now. Or you're not, you know, I'm not going to offer you nothing. I'm going to use you as a booty call, but you know, go on then. You're all right. You'll do, I guess. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's very easy if you're in that position for you to end up in relationships that are ultimately quite negative, if you get what I mean. And it's one of those things that I do think you need to kind of almost let that bit go, right? Because, hang on, let me go back to the other camera. Because we've got the 4, that stability, that tells me it's almost like it's been a while since you've found that strong connection, right? And it may well be that you were in a relationship, a long-term relationship, or it may be that you haven't had a long-term relationship, just, you know, 1 or 2 relationships here and there. Or you could be like I was, literally 10 years ago, where my longest relationship was 3 months. And I had a series, an ongoing, repeated cycle of short-term relationships that really were no good. But because I thought that I didn't deserve to be loved, because I thought and genuinely believed that I was, for various reasons, unlovable, that's all I would put up with. And eventually I went, do you know what? That's bullshit. I am valid. I am worthy of love, and I'm not going to settle for crap anymore. And literally a few months later, I met who's now my husband, and I've been with for, you know, 10 years this year. And that was all through me literally saying, I'm not prepared to put up with shit anymore. Now there's an interesting card here. this Knight of Cups, this is interesting. And I'm telling you why it's interesting, right? It could be a bit of a warning card, but it could also be a really positive card, right? So, if it's a warning, it's focusing on this idea of you being kind of stuck in a negative headspace with the swords, a really sort of a really negative place to be and to think about yourself and all of that, right? So coming out of that negative place, the Knight of Cups as a warning is saying, beware of somebody who comes in just for the sake of a booty call or for what they want. Do you know what I mean? Knights are the ones that jump in where angels fear to tread. Knights are the ones that go off half-cocked. Knights are the ones who literally go off gallivanting on horseback, and they've got a different woman in every town, in every village. Do you know what I mean? They are the ones who are the players, right? Or the wannabe players. So the knight, this energy could be saying to you, have your guard up for somebody who is going to be coming to you in the next short period of time. This might be only like within a month or two maximum, because I tend to not see that much further, especially in the 3 card, right? If somebody comes into your life and they start, you know, a little bit of flirtatiousness, get your red flags up, get your feelers out, get on heightened alert, put yourself on yellow alert, amber alert, whatever it is you need to do. Get yourself in that position where you are ready, right? Ready to run in the opposite direction if need be, because this person could well be, this knight could well be a big time player and is just going to be like every other negative relationship or a negative thought we've ever had, right? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. However, if we can get this under control and change this loneliness from I really long to be in a relationship, I long to be in a partnership, I really want someone else. If we can change this to be, even if I'm not with anyone, I am a fine catch. I am a bloody amazing human being. And do you know what? Actually, I'm not going to settle for a 4 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10. I am going to have, my partner's going to be a 9 out of 10 in everything that counts. They're going to bring with them an adult grown-up sense of love. They're going to bring, they might have scars and wounds and everything else, but they will have healed them to as much as, you know, they're able to, and they will come without huge amounts of baggage, but just the normal stuff we carry around, and they will want more from me than just a quick whatever. When you get to that point, right, where you can hand on heart say to yourself, do you know what, I would rather be single than have a shit relationship. I would rather be single than just be a booty call for someone or whatever, right? If you get to that point, and I'm not saying that's how you are now, I'm literally saying this is what I had to tell myself, and these cards are very, very similar or very reminiscent of that time in my life. If you're able to change that pattern, then this Knight card has a hope of being something else, right? And that has a hope of somebody coming in and actually being your knight in shining armor, right? Not all of the knights go gallivanting around in every village with a different, you know, different girl in every town. Not every knight is best friends with the barmaids. Do you know what I mean? And when I say best friends, I mean, you know, here's 6 shillings. I don't know what money was back in medieval times. Here's a gourd and a piece of silver, and, you know, a bed for the night that happens to also have 4 other buxom wenches. Thank you, Sarah. Buxom wenches in it. Do you know what I mean? The knight could well be a knight in shining armor. It all depends on what you're going to do with this one, because I haven't really shown you, but this card here, you can see we've got is it an earwig and worms? This is buried deep. So this feeling of just accepting and having that negative self-thought, not only is it a stable thought because this is a 4 and 4 is about stability, but this is buried bloody deep, and it will take a lot for you to unpick that. Okay, I hope that helps, my darling. My advice, such as it's worth, would be do a little bit of work here, right? Do a little bit of work on yourself. Do that bit where you learn to find what you love about you, right? And once you know what you love about you, you can show that to someone else. And when other people get to see what you love about yourself, other people can see that as well. And they may well love that same thing about yourself. Do you get what I mean? I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. But thank you ever so much for your question. And yeah, but that is going to be your reading for today. So thank you ever so much for your question, Mag. And listen, the best of luck to you, my darling. Oh, I was going to pour you one of these as well, wasn't I? Right, bear with me. Bear with me. Let me go back onto that camera for 2 seconds. Let me just pop these in the deck randomly. There we go. And then give it a quick shove. Oh, it resonates. Mag, I don't know how it resonates, right? All these are 78 bits of coloured cardboard, right? Pretty pictures on. That's all they are. Each one tells a story. For some reason, I can interpret those stories. And with Wispy, literally, Wispy is my air elemental egregore or servitor. And Wispy, like, I'm not saying I know, but good Lord, could I feel what Wispy was telling me to feel, if that makes sense. Right, so these are oracle cards. These are the Missing Witches deck of oracles, and these were given to me by an amazing friend who's actually I don't know whether he's on the stream at the moment, but he's called Neil, and he's one of our mods, and he does the podcast with me, and I've known him for 100 million years. And Neil, there we go, Neil is an awesome human being. So we've got the top card here is Zora Neale Hurston. Neil, wow, that's interesting. Zora Neale Hurston, right? Who is this person? And it says curiosity. And a little bit about Zora. It says, nearly forgotten and now lionized, Zora wrote books essential to the witches' canon. Traveling, collecting, writing and publishing, Zora didn't just document the magic like some scholar outsider. She dug in, got her hands dirty. She was initiated and fueled by curiosity, opened herself up to all that initiation entails. She said, I want to collect like a new broom. Zora called herself pagan and rewrote the tale of Moses from a black, rural American perspective. Wow. She claimed and reclaimed, felt proud and entitled, and was not humble. Zora wrote, research is formalized curiosity. It is poking and prying with a purpose. So this card says, Mag, poke and pry with purpose now. Follow your curiosity and don't be humble. You are a witch. Collect like a new broom. I think that is absolutely, I think that is lovely, right? Be curious. Discover those bits about yourself, my darling. Discover those wonderful bits about you. The things, listen, if your best friend was to write a letter, right, telling somebody about who Mag is, telling all your good bits, leaving out all of those stories that only your best friend knows, because you know that's going to die with them, innit? That's stuff we take to the grave. We never share those bits, but we talk up our best friends. If your best friend was writing a letter about you to someone else, like they were asked for a letter of recommendation, what would your best friend say? Write that letter. Write it for yourself and have a look at it. I'm going to leave you with that, my darling. Be curious. Thank you very much for your question. Right then. So let me just give these a quick shove back into a randomized position. So then it is time. Shall we go ahead and have another round? I think we should. Yay! Let's have another round. If you would like a tarot question answered, please do pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. If you want a longer reading, a 5 or 6 or 7, no, a 6 or 7 card reading, possibly even a 10 card reading, pop your question in as a super chat. That can be any amount. If it's, well, no, let me rephrase that. Any amount will get you next, right? If it's over £8 or 10 US dollars, you get yourself that longer reading. We go into more detail. We look at the layers underneath. We look at all sorts. If you want that type of reading, it's a donation of £8 or $10. What do we do with that money? YouTube takes 30%. What's left? 10% goes to the local PDSA, which is the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, and 10% goes to the local homeless shelter here in Leeds called St George's Crypt. And the other bit that remains goes back into funding and paying for things on the channel, like the new camera and equipment. So if you would like to do that and guarantee your reading, you know what to do. If not, go ahead, pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question, and one of those will get selected at random after this. Where are we going to this time? I'll tell you what, let's go to New York. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Indeed, just ask one of our lovely mods. Right then, so Eagle, good evening to you, my darling. I think you are a new subscriber here. The keeper of the question says Elena. Right, hang on. Right, so Elena, your question has been selected, but now I need to try and find it. Right, okay, are we going to go up on here? Question. Here we go. Does the cancer... Oh, okay. Whoa. For a second, I thought this was going to be a medical question about cancer. I was going to say, can't answer that. But does the cancer guy you know still have feelings for you? Oh, we're all about the love today, aren't we? We're all about that love feeling today. Let's have a look at what the cards might have in store. As always, we go to the cleansing space. I don't know what I'm doing either. And we bring in Wispy. So Wispy's energy. Wispy is our lovely dragon. Wispy is a dragon, if you didn't know, right? So, in fact, I'm sorry, Wispy. I didn't bring your little totems on, did I? We've got little dragon figures for Wispy. Wispy is actually an air dragon, and the elemental energy of air. Wispy connects myself to the Akashic records, where the knowledge of all of our lives is held, right? So that's one of the ways that I believe that we get the knowledge from for tarot. Also, it's 78 bits a card with pretty pictures on. Somehow I'm able to, look at the cards, and Wispy gives me impressions and feelings and sensations that goes beyond just the keywords or the words that the artist or author writes about the particular decks. Okay, somehow in 30 years of doing this, and I've never worked out how, but somehow Wispy shoves something in my brain that gives me some sort of insight into the cards. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who does tarot does it that way, but this is what's worked for me for many, many, many years. And Wispy is now... Ooh, it didn't quite jump, Wispy. It didn't quite go over. But Wispy is now that's the way that I use the cards. I never used to have a dragon. Well, I used to have a dragon, not 5. Right, are we calling that over, Wispy? I'm going to call that over and I'm going to call it for a reversed, because that's how it wanted to fall. So, I've just realised I've put all your totems on there, and now it's not going to have any space for the cards. So, why am I making this a separate thing in and of itself. Well, when a card decides to flip the way that did, and it was different to the first one. The first one felt like it was me. The second one, it wasn't my hand. Well, it is my hand, but you know what I mean. It didn't feel the same. When that happens, when a card flips like that, we call it a clarifying or modifying card here. Now, what that means is literally it clarifies or modifies the reading. It changes the reading that we're doing. It alters the cards, basically. It alters their meaning. So what does the Tower reversed mean? Well, the Tower is all about expectations coming undone. It's all about the idea of foundations being ripped out from under you. All of a sudden, that's like the rug's been pulled from under your feet. The things that you've been working on and building up, and the things that you felt were really important at one point, are no longer meeting the same needs, right? No longer doing the same thing that it used to. So we'll have a look at that. When it's reversed, it's even more so. It's almost like the things that are crumbling are coming from without. So we'll have a look and see how this relates back to Cancer Guy. So we've got the Star, another major arcana card. Also the Tower is a major. When I say the major arcanas, these are the big shouty cards. These are the numbered cards in the deck that make up the first 22 cards. These are like trump cards. I don't mean orange and you know, tiny hand, small dick. I don't mean that type of trump. I mean, you know, these are the big important ones, right? The other cards in the deck, like the normal deck of playing cards, they are the ones that fill in the story, the nuance. So we've got the Star and we've got Tower. This is in the what you need to know. No, this is in the where you are. This is what you need to know. And it's another major card, the Hanged Man. And then the opportunity to come, the Six of Swords. Right. Okay, so your question, does the Cancer Guy you know still have feelings for you? Oh, hang on. In all honesty, the Tower is making me think not, right? The Tower is making me think not. I'll explain. I'll leave the Tower to one side. So the Star, for me, the Star is all about wishful thinking, right? So that's that song of You're Wishing on a Star. All of that is, for me, that's about, oh, thank you, Sarah. Sarah's just gifted somebody a membership to the channel. Thank you, Sarah. That's very, very kind of you. So we do have our memberships open. You can join our Crow Collective. You can join the membership and take part of our live streams and things like that. So Sarah's just gifted somebody a membership to the channel, so thank you ever so much for that. That's very kind of you, and congratulations to Aesthetic Delta, who randomly got picked for that. Excuse me, I made the mistake of eating before doing my 6 o'clock live with the members. So the Star is about wishful thinking. The Star is about, for me, all of those ideals, those dreams, those goals. Now the Star upright is a little bit more something you can aim for, right? Rather than just being a wishy-washy wish, right? Throw a coin in the fountain. I wish to meet the man of my dreams. I wish to lose 20 pounds. I wish to do whatever, right? That's a nothing wish. That's just throwing money in a fountain. Throwing money in a fountain, saying your wish out loud, and then taking steps to actually follow through on it, that's different. That's the Star. This is where you put something on a really high pinnacle. You allow that energy to come through and you set yourself goals and targets, right? So the Star, when she's upright, is a little bit about, this isn't just wishing on a star. This isn't just wishful thinking. This is about how do you take those steps to get there, right? How do you do that? hang on. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Now, for you, I wonder, Alina, with this other cards, I wonder if you are, for you, behind this question is this idea that you want Cancer Man to have feelings for you because you want to be back in a relationship, right? That is what I am getting from the cards, is that is your wish, that is your kind of ideal long-term result here. Reason I'm saying that is because the Tower feels like things were left uncomfortably. It feels like the way things ended, like that rug got pulled, but almost it's like there was a truth revealed somehow with this, like the foundation wasn't, the relationship wasn't built on a solid foundation, put it that way. It's almost like that rug got pulled out from under you and everything then shifted, but it wasn't necessarily your doing. Does that make sense? That card is altering this a little bit to saying that it's almost like you wish you could go back, you wish things could be different. It's that vibe I'm getting with the star. Like, it's possible for you to set goals, but because of the question you're asking and the way you're asking it, it's almost like it's like the underlying question is actually, will I get a second chance with Cancer Guy? Do you know what I mean? It's like feels like that's the question you really want to ask. In the what you need to know, we've got the Hanged One. Now, this is a card of sacrifice, right? Of self-sacrifice. This is a card of the traditional card is of a person, normally a man, hanging on a tree or on a pillar by their feet, and it looks like their feet are tied to the branch or to the post or the cross or whatever it is, but they're not actually tied in place. In this deck, we've got this really elaborate Japanese rope bondage underwater with this heightened sort of, it's almost like a Harry Houdini meets some sort of Kama Sutra. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's merge these things together. It's got all of these various risks involved because you're underwater. Normally with the Hanged One, it's talking about that sacrifice being for the greater good, for the betterment, for knowledge. This feels a little bit selfish, right? In this instance, it feels a little bit selfish because what it feels like is whatever this sacrifice was, whatever this waiting was, it's almost like you fell on your sword in some way. Does that make sense? I'm not just saying that because we've got swords coming up, but it feels like a sacrifice was being made. And I don't know whether the one that paid the price was actually the Cancer Man or Cancer Guy, right? That's kind of what it feels like a little bit, to be honest with you, Alina. It feels a little bit that way because, again, this Tower keeps coming in, and it's that thing of things aren't what you thought they were. Things aren't what Cancer Guy thought they were. Do you know what I mean? It's like things weren't quite the way that they looked like on the surface, which leads us to the opportunity. What is to come? We've got the Six of Swords reversed. Sixes for me are about community, about groups of people, about, you know, the people are in your life, the people around you. And swords, as I said, is trouble, strife, those hurdles and challenges. The sixes, though, are about going on a journey, going on a destination. In some decks, this card is it's on the River Styx, the river of the damned, the river of death, all of that. In this case, we've got the swords, which are actually nails here, going through the boat. We can see that because we've got water in the boat, and this water isn't just a little river or a little stream or a little lake. This is deep, dark water. This is some deep, dark, fathomed ocean. And this crossing over, anytime you see water, it evokes emotion in the in the tarot, right? It relates to cups. It relates back to that emotion set or emotional suit. This feels like whatever you try and do for the Cancer guy, whatever you try and do, however you try and spin it, however you try and make contact, I don't think, even if Cancer guy still had strong feelings for you, I think for some reason I want to say you've blown it, but I don't know if that's true. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you genuinely blew it, or whether something happened beyond your control. But it feels very much like you blew it. You had your chance. It's gone. And I hate to say it that bluntly, but it really does feel that. That is honestly what the cards are giving me. Wispy keeps giving me this. You had your chance. You've blown it. I don't think, even if Cancer guy still had feelings for you, whatever happened, whatever this was, right? Whether this was a lie that got found out, whether it was, you know, a whole side of you that wasn't seen until it was, whatever this was, it's coloured his impression of you to such an extent that he can't see you without it. Does that make sense? It's like he's only ever going to see you through that lens of whatever happened. And so although this opportunity is there to try and make amends, to try and go on this journey, you're just going to be taking those issues with you. You're not going to be able to resolve these swords. The card is reversed. It's like literally you are stuck with whatever happened, and it doesn't feel as if there's a way back from that. Does that make sense? Hopefully, my darling, it makes sense. But listen, that doesn't mean, just because Cancer guy's out of the picture, doesn't mean there isn't a Pisces guy or a Taurian guy, or, you know, a Gemini girl even out there on the cards for you later on. But it genuinely feels, thank you, Patricia, that's a very good way of putting it with this card, feels like the tide has turned. Absolutely, my darling. And what I would say with that, my darling, is that there's no point looking back, right? What's done is done. You can't change it. What's done is done. All you can do is learn lessons. So if there is something here where you think, do you know what, if I had my time over, if I could go back and change things, I would. But you can't. All you can do is take the lesson forward and make sure that if you're ever in a situationship with somebody and things start going the same way this one did, whatever that was, if things start going wrong somehow, or if, you know, your lesser demons get too loud, whatever it is that happened, if that starts repeating itself, right, at least you now know that you might end up regretting that situation, and that in the long run you'll be sat there going, oh, I wish I could take it back, I wish this could have happened, I wish that. And for me, whilst that's not a comfortable lesson to learn, it is a really important one, my darling. And it does mean that at least in future relationships you may well be a little more authentic, a little more honest, and a little more true to you. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I hope that helps. As always, I'm going to pull you one of these oracle cards. Everybody gets these tonight because it is International Women's Day, and I think this deck is mainly people that were assigned female at birth. I think that's how they are, or trans women. I don't think there's any male or non-binary folk in here. I don't think there's any male folk. Oh, you've just got Pixie Coleman Smith, otherwise known as Pamela Coleman Smith, the original artist of the Rider-Waite Smith deck. And let me swap that back over. This card says Pixie, or Pamela. Pixie is the artist behind the world's most popular tarot deck. She lived with migraines and synesthesia, and said, when I take a brush in hand and the music begins, it's like unlocking the door into a beautiful country. A member of the suffrage atelier, she contributed to the fight for women's rights and donated to the Red Cross. Pixie's tarot deck was among the first to have illustrations for every card. A a palimpsest, I don't know what that means, of symbols and secrets that came before. She never earned royalties for her work on the deck, but she lived 40 years with her love and best friend, Nora Lake. This card calls on you to unlock doorways to that unknown country where we all live free. This, my darling, would say to me, this idea of unlocking the door to where we all live free, this is that Tower card. Don't allow that mask, don't allow that side to come out again, my darling. Whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, live your authentic self. They will love you for you, or they will hate you for you. Either way, right? Either way, there's no point putting up a mask, because eventually it will be seen through. And there's no point trying to be something that you know, either you aren't or whatever. Just be your authentic self. You've made mistakes in the past. Learn from those mistakes and move forward, happy knowing that that relationship that you've had, that series of events is never going to play out again. Hope that helps, my darling. Move on to something more productive. Exactly. Unlock that door to an authentic you. Unlock it, live it, and yeah. I love that. I love that. And for those of you that didn't know, Pamela Coleman Smith, or Pixie's Fireplace, is actually in a bookstore in London. You can go and visit it. I have paid a pilgrimage to the bookstore. It's a very weird feeling. And yeah, she was an incredible woman before her time. I thought that said H.P. Lovecraft, then it's not. She was an incredible woman before her time and lived very openly with her lover and best friend, who was called Nora, who was female. So, you know, all of those people that talk shit about tarot and everything else, we owe the tarot system as we know it today to a black lesbian who never earned royalties from her work. There we go. Anyway, I hope that helps, Alina, and best of luck to you, my darling. And just move on happy. That's what I would say. Everybody deserves to be happy. Right then, let's have a wee look, shall we? I love this. I love this so much. Patricia, you're so wise. We need you to put things on t-shirts. You cannot fill a broken glass. The liquid will always leak from it. So fill a glass without a hole in the bottom. Exactly. If your glass has a hole in its bottom, don't fill it. That sounded... Why did it sound rude and smutty when I said it, but when you said it, it sounded awesome? Sarah has just sent a £10 super chat. Sarah, thank you ever so much for that. So the next round will begin after this next reading that I'm going to do for Sarah. Will I or not need to get all 4 dragons before I start each? If each, which one should I start with, fire or earth? Or if wait to get all, which element? Hang on. Question. Will I do well with my dragons? Okay. Will I or not need... Will I need to... Okay. Will you need to get all 4 dragons before you start each? If each, which one should you start with? Earth, fire or earth? Or if wait to get all, which ones first? Right, okay. I think I've got your drift. I've got the hang of it. I think I've got what you're saying. Good evening to Sonia. Hello, my darling. I'll be opening up another round after this reading for Sarah, who has sent it through as a super chat. I can't even make that any smaller on the screen. So it's going to be absolutely huge. But that is absolutely no problem at all. So then let's do that. There we go. Made it a little bit smaller on screen. There we go. Right then. So as always, Whisper, you're like this. She's asking about dragons. So then let's cleanse the space. And Wispy, my friend, come on in. By the way, if you haven't already, please do hit that like button. And then if you haven't done, subscribe and press your bell. Dong your bell so that YouTube lets you know each and every time I upload or go live. So yeah, do go ahead and do those YouTubey things if you can. Right then, so Wispy, Sarah is asking about the dragons. She's asking, will she do well with the dragons? And does she need to get all 4 dragons before she starts one? Is that a single card? Sarah, you've had the Empress jump. She is reversed though. So you have a clarifying and modifying card. Right, Wispy, I'm going to move your elements, your bits up here. Okay. Move your green aventurine and move all of the dragon paraphernalia just up off there so I can use this space because I'm going to need all the space. So then, let's have a wee look. So you've got the Empress as your clarifying or modifying card, but the Empress is reversed. Now, for me, everybody who's been here before, I've probably said it on most of the days that I've done the readings, right? The Empress is my favorite tarot card of all of them. I absolutely adore her. Eventually, I've planned what the tattoo is going to look like that I'm getting for her. But the Empress is my favorite card, right? She's about abundance, she's about prosperity, she's about love and family and all of these wonderful, wonderful things. However, when she's reversed, she can be a little bit like a mama bear or a mama cat. Don't touch my kids. Do you know what I mean? She can be a little bit hard. And that same sensation of prosperity and abundance that she brings upright, she can also take away when she's reversed. There's a certain element here of this being taken away. Do you know what I mean? It's like, we're going to remove this. So whenever the card comes up or whenever any card jumps properly as a clarifying or modifying, we stop shuffling and we go straight to the cut. So then, Wispy, what we're going to do is okay. We're going to look at the situation, the obstacles, and how to overcome whatever this obstacle is. Okay, and we'll do it as a inverted triangle, so it'll be a 7-carder, and we'll see what happens. So then, the situation with the dragons, Wispy. Let's go. So the situation. Ooh, 7 of Pentacles. A lot more work needed. Difficult decisions, but more work needed. It could mean more money needed, but I don't think it is. 7 of Pentacles. I wonder if I can... Hold on one second, everybody. If I click on that, I wonder if I can make this picture-in-picture bit a little bit... I wish I was a little bit smaller. Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, right. Okay. There we go. Let's minimize that to there. There we go. So, Pentacles, career, work, finances, right? But it also is effort and work and that type of work, right? With a small W, not a big W. It's one of those cards that for me is talking about, the earth energy. And it's talking about, the 7 is talking about some really difficult questions here. Some really difficult questions. And again, I always say it's this idea of, do we harvest these? It says peas, they're blatantly not peas, but do we harvest this fruit or do we leave it on the vine to maybe grow a bit more? But if we leave it too long, it will go over on the vine and it will just rot. So you need to pick the right moment. Do you know what I mean? And so this card is literally talking about, you need to make sure you get the right moment. You need to make sure you've got the right energy for this, right? You've got the right... You need to make sure that things have got a chance to grow properly, if that makes sense. That's the situation. And there's some difficult choices here, but you need to make sure that you're working for the longer term growth, I guess. What you need to know. The moon. Okay. So the moon is a major arcana. So you've got 2 major arcanas so far. The moon for me is talking about time, possibly 28 days cycles, but it's also talking about navel gazing, stopping, sitting in a forest, looking up at the moon and having a spiritual connection, which is grand. But it's also, as Patricia pointed out to me, and I love this phrase for this particular card, the direction is laid out in front of you. The direction has already been laid out in front of you, Sarah. You just need to find that path, right? And when we're talking about your dragons, you need to find that path, right? And find your way to get that. For those that don't know, Sarah, am I right in thinking that your dragons are all the same sort of thing that mine are? You're looking at egregores, servitors, tulpas, so thought form creations. It's quite an advanced chaos magic type principle that take a lot of programming. If that is exactly what it is that you're wanting here, this is talking about making those tough decisions. This is talking about maybe you do need to spend time. And I think that book that Neil recommended in the members only is a bloody good place to start, because I know that when I was programming, it took a long time, like months and months and months, to program the one that is now called Rocky. I keep nearly saying his actual magical name, but anyway, in the what's to come in the future opportunity, we've got the Ace of Cups. Right, okay. So the Ace of Cups is talking about a new heartfelt project, something you're going to put your heart and soul into, but it's reversed. So I don't know whether that's saying it's something you're going to give up on, or whether it's something that... Hang on a second, this isn't that reading. This is situation, obstacle and challenges. Right, how to overcome. So the obstacle, the obstacle is the moon. This isn't what you need to know. This is the obstacle. So the obstacle then becomes navel gazing. Bloomin' heck. Right, navel gazing. This is what this is, right? So this is waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Sorry, I'm so used to doing the other standard 3 card. I was like, huh? This is about waiting, right? The obstacle is putting things off month after month after month after month. The amount of work and effort that it takes to set up a created thought form is bucket loads. There's so many things you've got to work through. This is how to overcome. So this is then saying, don't treat this as a new project. Thank you, Wispy. Wispy's like, no. Don't treat this as a new project. Treat this as this is going to be something that you commit to a lifetime with, right? This is something that you, for as long as you are working, and you have magical workings or you do anything like that, this is something that you need to plow all of that time and energy into. It's not going to be a quick hobby project, if you like, and it's something that you're gonna have to not just put your heart into because it seems like a good idea. It's something you're gonna have to put like everything into. Does that make sense? When we connect the 7, so when we look at the situation and the obstacle, what is this connection? Why is this the obstacle to the amount of energy? Why are we looking at this? Because of the 2 of Wands. Right, okay. So oh, Wispy, this is... So the obstacle... So Wands is about confidence. The 2 is about maybe you need to grow your confidence, but you need to... See, Wands for me is about friendship, as well as confidence, self-esteem, all of those things. I don't know whether you've got somebody else in your immediate circle, Sarah, that you are like doing witchy shit with. Does that make sense? That you are able to practice with, because it feels like that person is both going to be an aid when you need it, but also could be the reason why things keep getting delayed, right? If that makes sense. This feels very much like it's that warning of month after month after month after month. To answer your question, will you need to get all 4 dragons? I started with 1, and the rest hived off that first one in time, and it took forever to program that one. So this is saying that whatever this is, right, whatever this connection is, I think you need to utilize somebody. You need to get some help from somebody that can sit with you and talk with you through things, and kind of for you to bounce ideas off. So I don't know if you've got a witchy person or somebody of that sort of vibe that lives near you, but I think that's what you're going to need. You're going to need someone that you can sit down with and bounce those ideas from in person. Like you go and have lunch in a cafe and you're just talking about, oh, what about this? What about that? What about this? That's what you need to find, right? You need to find that person. So from the obstacle to how we overcome, how can we move ourselves into overcoming? It's the Chariot. Why are you not wanting to? Right, okay, so the Chariot is about a journey. There's something here about you not wanting to undertake this journey. There's something here that is scaring you emotionally, because we're coming back to Cups about this journey. So this way of overcoming, right? You're not wanting to start this because of this project. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like your heart and soul is in it, right? And so this Chariot card, which is talking about that journey, talking about that movement, it's like it doesn't feel as if it's, I don't want to say genuine, but it doesn't feel as if the journey's, what do we mean, Wispy? Why have we got the Chariot here? Okay, right, okay. Oh, right. What was that? There's a saying that just went through my head. You got to learn to run before you can... No. You got to learn to walk before you can run. Right? Okay, I get it. I get the warning, Wispy. Thank you. So, Wispy is saying you got to learn to walk before you can run. Or, in this case, rollerblade. Basically, if you've never done anything like this before, creating the dragons, if you've never done anything like that, it's something you're going to need to do a deep dive into, right? This isn't something you're going to have set up in a couple of weeks. This is something that you are absolutely going to need to study for it to work. Otherwise this Empress card comes into play. Otherwise, all of that energy, all of that abundance is going to be for nothing, right? What's the root? What is the root, Wispy? The root of it, the root of this issue. The Knight of Pentacles. Jumping in before you're ready. Right, okay, so you're jumping into this before you're jumping into this before you're ready, right? I don't know what that means. The knights are, but it's the Knight of Pentacles, Wispy. So the knights are all about going off cock-handed, going off and just setting off on a journey without knowing the full details. So the situation comes back to really tough decisions, really, and about that growth energy, about growing that energy forward and long-term planning, right? That's the situation. So that is the issue at the moment. Have you got enough energy? Are you asking, do you know enough? Are we going to harvest now or keep on the vine? All of those questions come into play. the obstacle is this idea of the moon, is this idea of that connectivity with spirit, but also this idea of months and months and months and months and months and time. So in the obstacle, this is about the time it's going to take. There is a path there. It is laid out. You've just got to decide to go down that path. I think this is talking about doing things literally by the book, like following instructions on how to do this. The how to overcome is to not see this as a passion project, not see this as a temporary project, see this as a passion project. At the moment, it feels like, oh, it's a nice, fun thing to do, right? The connections we've got on the lower level, so we go a little bit deeper. It's like you're wanting to do this to feel better or connected or something, and more confident and more accepted, maybe accepted, I don't know, but you're wanting to feel more confident and more self-assured about your witchy practice, right? About that side of things, and yet the journey is scary, right? The journey is scary. So I get it. I do get it. It's that thing of to do something takes a long time, if that makes sense. To do something, to go on this metaphysical journey, because it is a metaphysical journey, takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes an awful lot of study and practice to do things in that particular way. You're literally kind of having to learn a part of an entire path, if that makes sense. Thought forms egregores are a major part of chaos workings, and also to some extent some sort of ceremonial working, but it's very much a big chunk of that. And without that background knowledge, this is the fear, this is the root fear. Without that background knowledge, without that background expertise, you need to find someone in your circle that has knowledge in this, that you are able to go, like, you know about this, that and the other, I need to ask these questions, I need to do this, I need to do that. But it needs to be somebody in your actual life, because you need to be able to bounce those questions off, those 3 a.m. questions where you go, oh, what if I did this? Oh shit, I didn't think, how do I do this? How do I make it do that? How do I stop it from going rogue? All of these questions, you have to have that. For me personally, my belief is it's better to have that second opinion, to have that second voice, to bring up those questions that you don't think of yourself when you're doing the programming. My overwhelming fear, my darling, right, is with the Empress being reversed. I don't think that, to answer your question very directly, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if you start with one dragon, create 2 at once, wait and do all 4, or which element you start with. To some extent, it doesn't matter. What matters is the commitment that you put in, and that commitment and that perspective of learning a lot about how chaos works and about what you need to do to create an egregore, and to feed that egregore, to house that egregore, to program that egregore, to command the egregore. All of those things are vitally important, and all of those things take time to learn. Does that make sense? So it almost doesn't matter yet, because I don't think you're at that point of creation yet, if that makes sense. This single card here is saying, don't run into this yet. Don't rush into this yet. This is coming from a place of the heart, and for this to work, it has to come from a place of the heart, the head, and the soul, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, Sarah. But yes, I do hope that makes sense. and thank you for your question. Let me. Why am I on the other? Why have I got both screens up the same? That doesn't make any sense. There we go. That means I can go back to that screen. The problem with finding someone you don't know any witches around you as you're housebound. You only have you guys here. As I've tried to find witches near you on Facebook and Instagram with no one answering. Have a look on Reddit. Have a look on Facebook groups. It doesn't necessarily need to be. I mean, ideally, it's somebody that you're there able to do those questions, you know, bounce those questions off at 3 a.m. But if it's somebody that you are friendly with, there are groups on Reddit for chaos magicians. There are groups and what's it called, subreddits all about chaos and all about lots of other bits and pieces, egregores, servitors. There will be groups on Facebook. You've just got to spend that time finding the right groups, right? You've just got to spend that time finding the right groups. These days, I don't know now whether I now know enough, if you know what I mean, to, like, because of the fibre, my brain has forgotten so much shit. I think I would struggle creating Rocky again. I honestly think I would struggle creating Rocky again. I think it would be very difficult to put that amount of study back into something, particularly because I've got, you know, a life with a partner and dogs and all of these things. So I don't know now whether I have, or even the mental capacity, to be brutally honest with you, if it wasn't for the fact that Rocky was created 20 years ago. Geez, I don't know that I'd be able to do it now. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to shuffle you one of the oracle cards. Right, hang on, let me just show you this. You guys, we are your coven. Whilst I don't disagree, we are a lovely... Oh, hang on, I'm on the wrong bloody thing again. How small is that? Hang on. Why? No, give me my mini camera and make it bigger. Maybe not that big. Might we go full page of that. Right, there we go. Look, that's me in the corner. The thing about covens is that you've got people who are there and you can trust, and who have your back, and who there is that built-in connection and relationship. And the thing about the members group is that people come at it from all different perspectives, and so we will never be a coven as such, because there isn't a teaching element, there isn't a training element, and there's nobody there that the one just gone, Sarah, there's nobody there in there that is a teacher. Do you know what I mean? It's like I know bits, but then I've forgotten bits, and I've got a Swiss cheese brain. Neil knows bits, but is off doing his own very, very interesting path. Everybody has got different bits and pieces, so in a conversation we can all chuck in an idea, but nobody's got that ability to, I guess, to teach or to I definitely think, like, looking through some Facebook groups, some witchy Facebook groups, I definitely think that will hold you in good stead, my darling. Right, what am I doing? I am trying to cut a deck. That's what you're doing, Lisa. You've only done this 300 times. Oh gosh, what does that say? Aglaonice. So this is, oh, okay, interesting. Aglaonice was the first known female astronomer in ancient Greece and was known to draw down the moon. Aglaonice was from remote Thessaly, where in the imagination of the male-dominated polis in Athens, centaurs roamed the mountains and the forests were thick with medicine and dark with witchcraft. Aglaonice understood the Babylonian Saros cycle, a period of precisely 18 years and 11.3 days, after which lunar and solar eclipses repeat. So she knew exactly when and... Oh, this is perfect, Sarah. She knew exactly when and where eclipses would appear and was accused of trickery and manipulation from making her predictions. In a community of women called the Witches of Thessaly, she studied the sky. It says here, Aglaonice appears to call you back to your studies and back to the moon. So Sarah, utterly, this is what you need to do, my darling. That book that Neil, after this, go back and watch that, watch the members only again. Get that book that Neil recommended, right? I would also maybe, if you can find, you might have to find it on Amazon, that book, but certainly the Condensed Chaos by Phil Hines is a very good jumping off point for chaos magic. Have a look at that. And also, one of the podcast episodes we did dove into chaos magic, and Neil made a bunch of recommendations in that podcast episode as well. So have a look back at that. Again, it's still up on the channel. But this card is absolutely saying to you, you need to study. You're not ready to create them yet. You need to study. That, my darling, is amazing, right? Oracle cards, one single card coming up like that. Excuse me. One single card coming up like that. Absolutely astounding. I hope that helps, my darling. Thank you very much for your donation. Thank you for your question. And I do hope that helps. I would totally recommend going through Facebook groups, right? And feeling them out. Some are better than others. Some are absolute shit. And if you ever... Now, listen... I want to say this, right? Here we go. Hang on. What can I do? No. We'll do this. Here we go. Right? Warning to everybody. Absolute warning to everybody. If you are ever on a Facebook group and somebody messages you and says, I am drawn to give you a reading, or I am drawn to tell you about, right? Anything like that, anybody ever messages you with something like that, that person is a con artist. No genuine reader, no tarot reader, no psychic, no witchy person anywhere online will be reaching out to you with, I've got messages from your great grandmother in spirit. Nobody will do that, right? So if you are part of a Facebook group and you see somebody that says, oh, I am doing readings today, I will put your name in the details if you want one, and I'll read for those that I'm drawn to. And then you put your name in and they say, hello, so yes, I'm drawn to give you a reading. However, Spirit does say to me that you must pay me £5. Run like bloody hell. Get out of that Facebook group. They are scammers, right? There's lots and lots and lots of them on Facebook. Every single one of them that I have ever been involved in, any single one of those groups I've been involved in, the minute that somebody comes up and says, I'm drawn to send you a reading, it proves that the group is full of fakes, scam accounts, and that the moderators are probably in on it, or at least the moderators are unable to moderate. But that being said, there are also some really great Facebook groups out there for whatever speciality that you want to know. And if you want, it just takes chatting to people and not delving in with both feet on your first attempt. We are not knights in this. We want to take the road of the page, not the night. We want to dip our toe in and feel things out as if we are beginners, not jumping in with both feet like the knights. So yes. Oh God, yeah, that as well, Patricia. That as well. I find your profile fascinating. Do you know what I used to get a lot of? Because it said in my profile trans woman, I used to get a lot of people that would say, hi, I am Sergeant Major Bob from the US Air Force, and here is my penis. Needless to say, you know, on Facebook now it tells you what the opening line of that message is. As soon as it says something like, I am Vice Admiral Bob from the Marines, I go delete, 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 because that's what I would get. And it would be like, oh, that's really interesting. Here, have a photo. No, that's not anything rude. It'll be like, no, thank you. Oh my God, I don't need to see that. Do you know what I mean? No, thank you. No. Anyway, let's have another round. It's that time again. Get your question in. Open round is open. That makes sense. Go ahead, pop your question in, starting with the word question. Each round, we have a keeper of the questions. That person, one of our lovely mods, will pick somebody at random. It is a randomized selection. That person will then get the reading. If you want to guarantee your reading is next, there's just enough time to do what Sarah did and to make a donation via their super chat. Any donation at all will get you next on the list. A donation of £8 or $10 or more will get you a longer reading like we had with Sarah. It goes into a lot more detail. So if that is what you would like, whichever way you would like it, do please go ahead, pop your question in the chat starting with the word question, or send it as a super chat. Either way, do one of those two things just about now. We've been to New York. What should we do now? I know. Shall we have a lovely grounding tree? I think that would be lovely. Exactly, and if you don't know who the mods are, they are the ones with their name in blue with a spanner next to their name. Everybody else who has cups or anything like that next to them, they are our members. You can see it looks like a little coffee cup, because up until last Wednesday I was truly addicted to coffee. As of Wednesday, I've not had a single drop of coffee because Holland, who is a moderator in the chat, gave me the challenge not to have coffee for a week. I am counting the days. I am counting the minutes, the hours, and the seconds. So, keeper of the questions says the name Sonia. So, Sonia, I didn't know we had anybody called Sonia in. Let me have a look in the chat. Sonia, oh, I've got your question. Hello. There we go. I've got your question up. Also, I've got to say good evening to Follow Your Nature, and good evening to, who else did I just see that popped up as well? Good evening to Lucia, and good evening to, was there somebody else that I missed saying hello to? Country Love Homestead, good evening to you as well, my darling. And good evening to Aesthetic Delta. Welcome, by the way, and congratulations, Aesthetic Delta, on getting a free membership. Well, it wasn't a free membership, it was a gifted membership. Sarah in the chat, did you... Sarah in the chat gifted a membership and you were selected. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Roll on Wednesday. You do not know the half of it. I'm all right, actually. I've had a couple of energy drinks and I've had lots of cups of tea and squash. I've been drinking a lot of water. Right then, Sonia, let's have a look, my darling. Question, will I get the new job? A nice... I wouldn't say easy question, but a more standard question. So let's go ahead. I'm going to ring your bell. In other words, I'm cleansing the space between readings. I do it every time. And we're going to bring Wispy in. So then, Wispy, Sonia would like to know, are they going to get the new job? Is Sonia going to get a new job? Fingers crossed. Let's have a look and see what we say. Oh, we've got a chariot. Now, is that going to... We took it on the last one as a flipped card, so we'll take it here again. So then, here we go. The chariot. Now, the chariot is your clarifying or modifying card. Okay, Sonia? So this clarifies or modifies the cards that are about to fall. So what we do is I'm going to do your drop as always, because as soon as a clarifying card pops out, it's time to stop shuffling and to do your drop. So then, what is a clarifying or modifying card? It literally does exactly what it says on the tin. It clarifies or modifies the reading that we're about to do. So the chariot itself, the chariot is a big important card. Okay, the chariot is all about what's it called? What's it called? My brain's done a brain fart. The chariot is all about a journey. There we go. Now, some tarot readers will see this as a literal journey of travel. Others see it as more of a metaphorical or metaphysical journey. That's how I tend to see it as well. For me, the chariot is about... you can't quite see it on... I wish this person on the card had a winner's medal. That would have made a lot of sense, because in the traditional depiction of the chariot, we see them in bright shining armor, and it's like a victory. They've won, they've done their journey and they've won something. They're coming back victorious, right? There's a really good vibe about it. This deck with the chariot, it is talking about that journey. So we're going on that metaphysical, metaphorical journey here, right? So when we're talking about a new job, this is talking about on that journey. However, this is reverse, which is saying that if the job, the journey is going to be unexpected, right? The journey is going to be unexpected, put it that way. That is what the chariot reversed is saying, is that this is not going to be a straightforward journey that you're on in terms of getting a new job, specifically this new job. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult. Bear with me just 1 second. Sorry, I just needed to wet my whistle. So the reason I'm saying I don't know whether it's going to be this specific job is because you've got 3 cards that have all landed, well, technically 4 cards that have all landed reversed. So the 4 of Cups, this is where you are. So Cups is your emotional self, right? And the 4 is all about stability. And what we've got here with this card, right, we've got this idea of things being, if it was this way up, things are a bit boring, a bit run of the mill, but you're a bit stuck in the rut, right? When it's reversed, it's very stuck in the rut. Things are no longer stable. Things are stagnant. So it's like whatever your job is at the moment, your heart is so not in it. It's like I don't know what your job is, whether you are, you know, a high-powered, high-earning barrister, whether you are a barista, or whether you are, you know, an Uber driver, deliverer, or a lawyer. Whatever it is, your heart is no longer in it, right? You are now like, oh, bloody boring, stuck in a job, don't want to do this no more, don't want to do this, don't want to be here, don't want to do it, I'm here for the paycheck. This, you know, either I know everything about the job, or I don't give a toss about the job. Whatever way, you have just hit that brick wall, right? You have hit your wall, and now you are just like, yep, I'm here for the money, I'm here for the paycheck, could not give a stuff about anything else, don't want the pension plan, don't want this, don't want that. Just wherever you are, it feels like you're just plodding, right? It's not, it when we say stagnant, it's like a pool, a clean pool of water is lovely, right? Lovely little pool of water. Sun comes out, dries it up. Little puddle, dries it up. A stagnant pool of water, a deep pool, a deep bog area, or a deep pool that's been there for ages, right? A deep puddle in a wood or something. What does it get? It gets midges. It gets flies. It gets the other thing that I keep forgetting what it is, but it's right on the cusp of my tongue. It gets the things that bite, not gnats. They give you malaria, whatever those things are called. Brain fart, fibromyalgia. It's that, right? It's full of all of that. It gets horrible, it smells, and it's full of those horrible, nasty insects. That is what this card represents, right? In terms of your passion for the job. It's like, yeah, can't be asked. Stagnant, stinky old water, right? In what you need to know, we've got another 4 reversed. But at the moment, it's paying your bills, right? That's literally what this card is saying. Look, yeah, you're bored. We get that you're bored and that you hate it. We get that you don't want to be here anymore. We get that everything, all the passion's gone. But this is kind of paying your bills, right? The 4 of Pentacles is that stagnancy, that lack of anything exciting. Mozzies, mosquitoes, thank you, Holland. You're a supply chain consultant. Sounds very good. Sounds very posh. Sounds very interesting. I don't know what it is. What does that do? What do you do? Do you consult on supply chains? I mean, the clue's probably in the title. So my next question would be then, what do you mean supply chain, and how do you consult on it? And does it mean you can get us some good discounts on some nice stuff? Anyway, I'm joking. But this is your passion. This is the reality, right? You need to kind of stay here right now because it's paying bills, and whilst it isn't going to be anything exciting, it's keeping a roof over your head. Now the Ace of Pentacles, this comes where it becomes interesting, because this is the future opportunity. Aces are new projects. Pentacles is work, career and finances. So there is a new project, potentially a new job. That is something that this card is often seen as. New job, new project, new promotion. There is this in the cards. However, it's also reserved. Flipping Nora. You can tell I am literally nearly at 3 hours of streaming. My brain and my mouth are no longer functioning fully together. But this reversal is literally saying there is a new job on the cards, but I don't think it's one that you've applied for yet. And if it is one you've applied for, say you've applied for 50 of them, right? It's one that you're going to have to jump through some hoops, and it isn't going to quite be the job that you think it is, right? This twist, this Ace of Pentacles, this way up, it'll be, yay, look, all this stagnant, boring old energy, all this old crappy, hate it, can't be asked, feeling like it's, Christmas weekend and you work in Tesco's. Oh my God, right? It's that vibe. Do not want to be here. Why? Tell me again why I can't punch customers in the face. It's all of that, right? That's going on. This way up, it would be, hang on in there, because right round the corner, there's something new. It's going to give you that kick up the bum. It's going to take you to that next level. It's going to be a new start. It's going to refresh everything. You've got this new Pentacles coming. But because this is reversed, right, and because you've got the Chariot here and the Chariot is reversed, expect the unexpected. This could be a job that you currently are thinking, you're not thinking about. Currently a job that is not even on your radar, right? It's not even yet printed in the newspaper for you to look at. It's just not even a concept for you right now. It's something out there that you are going to wake up and go, oh. Or you're going to see a billboard as you're driving down the motorway, and it will say, have you ever thought of being a driving instructor, middle school teacher, whatever the hell it is, right? There will be some sort of thing that you go, oh, that is what you need to follow, right? If you've already applied for jobs, this could be this unexpected journey. So it could be that you applied for, I don't know, area manager of a supply chain consultancy. or something, right, within the same sort of field, and it actually turns out you're going to be doing something and they want you to move to Mozambique, right? There's some sort of twist here in the line. If it's a job you've already applied for, you're going to need to look at this 3 times differently. You're going to need to look through a different lens. You're going to have to put someone else's glasses on that aren't your prescription. You're going to need to see this very, very differently, right? But this is very much an unexpected journey, but this is really good. This, if you're able to do this jump, right, whatever this is going to get away with you feeling stagnant. That is for sure. You will not feel stagnant, boring, same old energy around you, because this will bring something where you go, oh my God, that's amazing. Or, oh my God, I can't do that. Can I do that? Can I really be a spider trainer in a touring zoo? Is that a thing? I don't even think it was a thing. Can I really be an educational ambassador for crocodiles? In a whatever it is something like that you will have either not considered, or you will have considered and then written yourself off as being incapable. Something that you need to look at. Keep your eyes and ears open, and something will arrive when you are not expecting it, says Patricia. That is brilliant advice. The idea that now is not the time. I don't think this is not within the next, well, it could be within the next month. I don't think it's as early as a month. I think you're looking a little bit further out just from the way the cards feel, right? But this is where you need to leave a really, really open mind and consider something that is very different, right? Consider that thing. What have you always wanted to do for a career? You might have always wanted to be a singer. Okay. Assuming you can sing. Oh, look, round the corner from your house next week are auditions for The Voice, auditions for X Factor, auditions for whatever. Oh, you like baking. Suddenly, Great British Bake Off are looking for new contestants. Hurrah! Or, whatever it is, there is something here that your journey is going to take you on, and it is the start of something exciting, because the ace is all about this brand new start, brand new energy, right? And when we're looking at Pentacles, it is brand new job and energy. This Chariot and these reversals mean it's going to be something that is going to be exciting, and you're going to go on a bit of a roller coaster ride, a bit of a whirlwind ride, right? But it's going to be something that you will not feel stagnant from anymore. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say I wish you nothing but the very, very best of luck. There is, whatever this is. Oh no, I need to pull you a card as well. Whatever this is, right? Whatever this is, go with it. It sounds exciting. It sounds fun, right? You ain't going to be bored in 6 months' time. Whatever this is, when the job starts, you are not going to be bored. Right, let's have a look, my darling. I'm going to pull you a random one of these oracle cards. These are the Missing Witches deck of oracles. And we've got Maria Sabina. Okay, so this is who this person is. Maria Sabina. And it says, Maria Sabina is the most famous curandera to allow outsiders to participate in the psilocybin healing vigil known as the Velada, the greatest visionary poet in 20th century Latin America. Wow. 1 second. Late at night, high in the mountains in Oaxaca, surrounded by her daughters and uplifted by their voices, she would heal with fungi magic and with words. I take little one who springs forth, and I see God. I see him sprout from the earth. The book appears, and I learn new words. Pulling this card calls on you to follow fungi logic. Reach out like myceliums. Sporulate in all directions. Listen for new words. Listen for currents below the surface and outside of time. That is bloody amazing, right? That is literally listen for an unexpected journey. There is a connection somewhere, right? There are connections somewhere that you need that you will connect with. It could well be that the job you are about to get, you've already met your future boss, or you've already met the person who owns the company, or you've already impressed somebody along the line who is going to be looking for somebody just like you, and they will think of you. But how you get that connection is going to come from somewhere weird and wonderful. And again, this card is saying, do what Maria Sabina did. Maybe don't take some magic mushrooms. Maybe don't take that. But be prepared to listen to the words and the cues that the universe is giving you, my darling, because they're not going to come from the local classifieds ads from the local paper. And with that, my love, I'm going to say thank you ever so much for your question. And I hope that helps. And that is going to be it from today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, no problem at all. It resonates 100%. Thank you, my darling. Supply chain involves yes, all the things, the logistics. Eggshell and Biscuits, that was a company, wasn't it? Eggshell Logistics. My neighbour's dad used to work for them, and so we, the lorry or van or whatever it was a lorry, would pull up saying Eggshell Logistics, and we would always go Eggshell and Biscuits. Cost reduction and efficiency improvements in any company. So basically, you are the Elon Musk and Doge of supply chains. Maybe I won't call you that. That sounds dodgy. But anyway, I hope that helps. Oh, what's this? Yeah, don't be afraid. Have faith in yourself, my darling. Oh, what? The new job, the boss called you, but you're afraid to jump into the unknown. Why? It's all reversed. It's all going to be totally exciting. Totally exciting. Wow. Yeah, try something interesting. What is the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen, Sonia, is you start something new, it turns out you hate it, and you end up going back to a similar job to the one you already have, right? In all reality, that's the worst thing that can happen. You might have to be out of work for a little while until you can get back in there. But it sounds like if you were that high up a consultant, other people would pay you for your time doing that same old job, right? So you can always fall back on that. Why not have a feel for where those magic mushrooms, don't take magic mushrooms, but for where those metaphorical magic mushrooms might take you, because you never know what you might see when the colours all melt and you can hear the colours of the universe when they're shouting at you. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say best of luck to you. Best of luck to everybody else who's been here tonight. Thank you for joining me on today's stream. If you didn't get a reading tonight, no fear. I am opening my Fiverr gigs again. They will be open probably later this week. I need to redo all the artwork and things. But they will be open later this week. And also, I'm going to be back in just 2 days' time on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. UK time, where once again you will be able to get yourself in with a chance of a shot of another free reading, or in with a chance of a shot for a reading at very little cost with a super chat. Either way, hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday evening. And as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I will definitely see you on the next one. And yeah, with all that said, thank you very much to the mods, thank you to the members, and I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.
Join the Crow Collective. Help to support this channel by becoming a member here on YouTube. From £2.99 per month, you will gain access to members only perks, live streams, competitions, sneak peeks and more. Just click on join for more information. Thank you to all our members.
They're witches.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
'Cause she's a witch.
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch. Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back.